All right, y'all, it's Monday. It's time to help the people. So today's topic actually came as a result of a conversation I was having with my mom a couple weeks ago. Some kind of way we got on the topic of knowing when it's time to leave the nest. So I thought about it, and I figured this may be helpful for some young adults or maybe some old adults, that may be a little stuck and need a nudge. Let's talk about it. So the first way to know that it's time for you to leave the nest is if your parents are letting you know in one way or another that you're wearing out your welcome, whether they drop subtle hints or tell you blatantly. Now, I moved out when I was 25, and I remember being around 24, and my mother every so often would be like, "Hey, Tamira, you ever think about moving out on your own?" And I'm like, "No, ma'am, because why should I start paying rent when I can continue to not?" But I came to realize that was her way of saying, listen, it's time for you to go. Next, if you find that you don't have any space for yourself and your things, it's a good sign that it's time for you to go. So you got TVs and dressers and beds, and you're just saying, none of this, my stuff, it just don't fit in this room no more. It's time for you and all your nice things to go get your own space. Next, if you find that you have no privacy, it's time for you to leave the nest. Because what it boils down to is you have no right to privacy in somebody else's house. And think about mama and daddy. Because you're there, they don't have any privacy either. What if they want to walk around butt naked? What if you want to walk around butt naked? Nobody's walking around butt naked because there's too many grown folks in one house. Lastly, if you can't get down with the rules of the house anymore, it's definitely time for you to go. I remember my mother had two rules that really started getting under my skin more than they had ever before. And it wasn't too much longer before I moved out. The first one was no locked doors, okay? Now, mind you, I'm 25 at this point, and I want to come home in my bedroom and lock my door. Wasn't happening. I swear, it's like she could hear that little flimsy lock turn in her sleep. She come down there, bam, bam, bam. Why this door locked? You don't have no door in this house. Unlock that door. And her other rule is that she locks her screen door at midnight. So she called. If I was out, she's like, I don't know what time you plan on getting in, but I locked the screen door at midnight. So if you're not home, you're going to have to stay wherever you are. And you know what I had to do for both of those rules? Respect them and follow them. And later that year, I got the heck out. Now, beyond just leaving the nest in a literal sense, I'm talking as far as getting out of your parents' house, I think a nest can represent any sort of a comfort zone. There's jobs we get comfortable in, there are relationships we can get too comfortable in, and I'm going to let you know some ways that it's time to leave those nests too. First, if a comfort zone is keeping you from pursuing something better for yourself, it's time for you to let that thing go. I've been there where I've had jobs that I was super comfortable in, that I knew everybody there, I could do my job with my eyes closed, but there was no opportunity for advancement. Now, for me, I can be a bit socially awkward and introverted and shy, so being somewhere where I knew everybody was a big deal. Okay, but at what point do I say I can't keep making this $10 an hour? So it took getting out of the comfort zone and applying to other places and going somewhere where I didn't know nobody knew me, but it turned out to be better in the end. Next, and this sounds real simple, but it's easier said than done. But if your comfort zone isn't comfortable anymore, it's time for you to go. The thing is, your situation or your circumstance can stay absolutely the same, but you can grow and you can develop as a person, and it starts to get uncomfortable for you. Now, I say it's easier said than done because what if that includes ditching a long-time relationship that's become stagnant? What if that includes moving to a new city, where you don't know anybody? So yeah, give your parents their houses back. Go see what's out there. A comfort zone is comfortable, but usually there's something better beyond the comfort zone. So I'm done. Hope that helps. As always, govern yourselves and just know that if you like your own posts and pictures, we can't be friends.